We are celebrating 15 years of Stevens Hope. It's really hard to believe that kids we helped in the beginning are all grown up now, some with kids of their own. It has been so inspiring to talk with some of them and hear firsthand the impact their time with Stevens Hope made on where they are today.
When they gave us bad news that he was gonna need a heart transplant, we thought it was like a dream or something, you know. We didn't really realize what was actually happening to my little boy. Stevens Hope helped us a lot by giving us this apartment. You walk in this apartment, you feel like home. I can't work. I need to be with my boy, you know. Before his heart transplant, he wasn't able to walk, he wasn't able to crawl. He was just a little boy sitting there and tired all the time, you know.
He's a miracle boy. I would love to say that it has been just a walk in the park. But there's so much more for a transplant family. We were away from home for about 4 months. Coming back is a whole readjustment. Now we're miles away, so we had to transition his care. So when we were discharged and ready to come home, he was discharged with an IV. In 2009, a year post-transplant, we had to be flown back to Loma Linda because of a digestive issue. So a few years later, we learned that Christopher's kidneys started to fail and weren't developing appropriately for his age. Christopher was hospitalized again, but he had developed the parvovirus. His body was shutting down again. So it hasn't been easy. There's been trials and tribulations along the way, but we're still grateful. We're still blessed. We're still very, very happy that we have him here and we get to enjoy him and he's active.
There have also been big changes over the years for Stevens Hope. Looking back, the reasons why Tony and I started Stevens Hope were definitely not the right reasons to start a nonprofit. And having only 32 hours to hold Stephen in our arms before his death, it just wasn't enough time. But by starting Stevens Hope, it gave us a reason to say his name every day and to help others in similar situations to what we had been through. And so it started. We threw a stone in calm water, and that one stone created a ripple that is still growing strong today. Stevens Hope was started in 2002, and our first apartment in our Housing for Hope program opened in 2003. Housing was important for the families, but we realized they needed more, so 2 programs were added to further help the families: Fill in Need and We Care. The Fill in Need program started with food, transportation, and financial assistance for critical needs. Our third program, We Care, is all about ways to love on our families. There are hockey nights, baseball nights, parties, and trips to Disneyland. What started out as just being housing for kids has expanded to helping the entire family be whole during a really tough time in their lives.
My name is Ariana Kiss. I was born 1996. About a month after I was born, I went to the doctor, found out I was born with a really rare genetic liver disease. It's called alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, and they told me that I would later on in life need to have a liver transplant. Come 2004, I was 8 years old. I got a phone call and they said, "We've got a liver for you." I went down to Loma Linda University and I had my liver transplant there. Here I am now. I'm 21. I am feeling great. My liver's doing great. I've got a couple other medical problems here and there, but I manage. I'm trying to be as average as I can. I've had a very abnormal childhood, so I'm trying to just live life normally. So when I was in the hospital, around the transplant time, my social worker from the hospital came to us and said, "We know an organization called Stevens Hope, and they will provide housing for you. That way I can go do all my testing every single day, God forbid, and if anything were to happen with the transplant, I can be right there and, close to my doctors." Met Tony, met Sandy, and we went and saw the beautiful, beautiful apartments they had for us. And they blew us away. They provided full-on housing for us, and when we went to check out the apartments, It was stocked full of food. There was toys for me and all my siblings that were with me. Oh my goodness, they brought us, because it was around Christmas time, they brought us lots and lots of toys, big old Christmas tree, not just for me, my whole family. They really took the time to care for us and to come to know us and know who we are and my family. And they'd always ask about, how's your dad? How's Andrew? Asking about my siblings. And they're very loving, caring people that I just have so much gratitude for.
We are grateful to everyone who has helped move Stevens Hope from where it started to where it is today. As for tomorrow, only God knows where Stevens Hope will be. With help, the future really can be more families getting the support and love that the Stevens Hope family brings. We all can be the change, a big family of ripple makers. Yes, Stevens Hope is different than where it started. It's more than seeking answers for one child's short life. It's about the beautiful children and the families we have the privilege to serve. And for that, we thank all of you.
About 2 or 3 weeks before the twins turned 1, they had runny noses and just kind of illness.
Yeah,
nothing that we were too concerned about. Tuesday morning, I went to work, and I came home from work that night, and I just looked at her. She just didn't look right, and so I said, I'm gonna take her to the hospital. And I thought, well, let me just go change my clothes, and I just kind of stopped for a second. I thought, nope, she needs to go right now. Made eye contact with the girl that was expecting me, and she just kind of looked at me, and I said, this isn't my baby. There's something wrong with her. So she said, well, let's get her right back. And we got her to the back of the ER, and within 10 minutes, her heart stopped. So the decision was made to send her to Loma Linda. It was just get her to California, and we just picked up and left.
Yeah,
really, we had no idea what we were doing.
We had a pair of clothes, and that was it.
We just showed up here, save our daughter. And we just kind of looked around and thought, well, now what do we do? Where do we go? And so, it's like anything else, we'll just
figure it out.
We'll figure it out. We can do this. We don't need any help. And then it's a humbling moment when you realize you do need help.